Hi, I'm Rebecca Coleman, and today I want to talk to you about Twitter. Now, perhaps talk is too loose of a term. Perhaps I should say rant. So I should start off by saying I really love Twitter. I've been on Twitter for a really long time, and I love it. I think it's a wonderful tool for creating dialogue and discussion with other people who live all over the world, with whom you wouldn't normally be able to meet in usual circumstances, but people with whom you share something in common that live all over the world. It's an amazing tool, and I love it for that. However, over the last year or 6 months, there have been a lot of changes to Twitter that make me really concerned for its future and its welfare. I feel like, I don't know if you've ever had this experience, but you know when you're in a relationship with someone and it feels like maybe you're gonna be breaking up soon, and they start to get like really kind of desperate and clingy because they're afraid that you're gonna break up with them? That's kind of how I feel about what's going on with Twitter right now today. Now, a couple of things have happened over the last year or so that have to be addressed. First of all, Twitter is not growing nearly as fast as some of the other newer social networks out there. Instagram, for example, surpassed Twitter last year and became the second biggest social network in the world. They now have around 400 million active monthly users, whereas Twitter is still stuck below that, somewhere in the 300s. So that's the first thing. Secondly, they took on Jack Dorsey. Now, Jack Dorsey as CEO. Now, Jack Dorsey was one of the original 3 founders of Twitter. And I think as a choice for a CEO of Twitter, I think he's a really good one. But as soon as they hired him back on and he became CEO, he started to make some really big changes and some tough choices. So, for example, he laid off 8% of their staff. To make them, I guess, a bit more lean and make sure that they're financially solvent. And then he's also made some other changes, like, for example, he made DMs as long as you want them to be. So there's no more character limit on DMs anymore. You can send a direct message to someone, you can basically write them an email. Cool, I kind of think that's not a bad idea. However, there have been some other things that I've really noticed on Twitter recently that are, again, kind of disconcerting to me. First of all, I don't see nearly as much dialogue happening on Twitter as there was in the past. For me, one of the greatest and most positive things about Twitter, as I said before, was this ability to talk with people with whom you have something in common who live all over the world. And I don't see as much of that happening today. Quite honestly, what I see is a lot of people pushing out information, and I do that as well. But I don't see as many people attempting to connect with one another and have conversations with each other in the same way that they have in the past. And that kind of makes me sad, because that was one thing that I really love about Twitter, is that ability to have conversations with people. Twitter recently announced that they are considering increasing the 140 character limit to 10,000 characters. Now, if they do this, and they're talking about doing it in the next couple of months, if they do this, your Twitter timeline will still look very similar to how it looks now. So you'll see the 140 characters, but then there'll be a link that you can click on that will expand the tweet, and you'll see the full 10,000 characters if that's what people are choosing to write. Now, for me, I think this is a really bad idea. And part of the reason why is simply because of branding. What Twitter is, at its very essence, is microblogging, and it's 140 characters. 140 characters is what makes a tweet, is what makes Twitter what it is. So to me, to expand it to 10,000 characters, I think it's a bad idea. I think it will wash out their brand and, quite frankly, make them more like Facebook. And I don't see the point of that. If they're going to be more like Facebook, they might as well just sell to Facebook and walk away from it. So that really concerns me quite a lot. I think also the expanded character limit could really increase the amount of spam that we're going to get on Twitter. There's already quite a lot of spam on Twitter, and I think the increased character limit could really increase that as well. And that's not bad. I mean, that's not a good thing. It's bad. It's not a good thing. So that's my little rant on Twitter for today. What do you think about Twitter? Do you think that these changes are good? Do you think they're bad? Did you leave Twitter a long time ago already and you're done with it and you're off doing something else like Snapchat? I don't know. Let me know. I would love to hear your comments on what you think of the state of Twitter currently and where you think it's going to go in 2016. I would love to hear your thoughts. Let me know.